Ladies, gentlemen, ladyboys, those of you who identify as attack helicopters, hello. Uh, Apologies for not being on, making videos in a while. I was kind of bored, well, also kind of burned out. Again, that happens a lot with me. Also, I had to go to Arizona. I'm hoping to do a video talking about that at some point later, but there was some news that broke while I was in Arizona, which, by the way, Jesus Christ, that state is like none of the ones I've ever visited or lived in. It was very interesting, very cool to look at, and no, I did not meet any YouTubers while I was there, so if any of my buddies come making that joke, kiss my ass. No kidding. You don't deserve that privilege. But there was some news that broke while I was on my way there about BioWare and the Failguard, which, by the way, for my own personal amusement and how do I put this nice? Not nicely. For my own personal pleasure of, having a good laugh, I do have to say up first.
Happened. Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck!
Also, I'm aware that, this isn't exactly what I thought would happen. I thought this would bring down BioWare. I still think that'll happen. Because, well, maybe. Then again, I am eager to see it all burn to the fucking ground at this point. Because BioWare is not the BioWare that... Like, if any of you older gamers, or those of you who paid attention to gaming more than me, which is saying something, I was a pretty hardcore gamer back in the early 2000s. Mostly with the PS2. But those of you who remember BioWare for all those good games they did, that BioWare is long in the rearview mirror. Kind of like the Barry Goldwater era Republican Party. The people who made those good games, they left. It's a bit like Naughty Dog. The people at Naughty Dog now are not the same glorious bastards who gave us such gems as Uncharted and, Jak and Daxter. Jak 2, Jak 3, Jak X. Fuck the haters, I like that game. I would say Jak the Lost Frontier, but yeah, no, I at best can tolerate that game, but no. So, the people who made that, they are gone. So, like, it's kind of like with, and I'm saying similar in that, like, take New Vegas, for example. Some of the guys who made those cool games are gone. Don't believe me? Look at, Chris Avalon, who was going to be at a con here in Texas, but because of some shenaniganery by some douchebag activists who, by the way, douchebags, if you happen to be hearing this, I hope there is a hell reserved for people who make a big deal, who cause drama for the shits and giggles, because Jesus Christ, you belong there. Kind of like how commies belong in hell for the crime of envy. But anyway, that is kind of how I'm looking at BioWare, because also, some of the guys left over from when it was good, they claimed they were going to be doing some kind of company of their own, and then it turned out to be a scam, last I heard. So, yeah, fuck it. But, Failguard is just, to me, a source of comedy gold, because all I can think is, to all the shills who, especially that one bitch, or, at least I think it's a bitch, or a dyke, I'm not sure, I don't care. To all them who were like, oh, love these surgery scars. Okay, first of all, why the fuck would a fantasy world have surgery scars? They have magic. If you wanted to transition, you could transition with magic. You wouldn't even have to have surgery scars, you stupid fucksticks. But okay. Also, there was already a term in Dragon Age for this non-binary bullshit is. Like, there was already terms for this in the Kunari language. I know this because I have copied it down and typed it up for my own little notes. Hell, Inquisition had a character who was more or less that. I'm blanking on the individual's name. I'm not sure if it was a guy or a girl. Hard to tell at this point because it's kind of like California. I can't tell anymore, and I've stopped trying. Just like I've stopped trying to give two shits about California. Well, actually, it's like I've tried to stop caring about the retards of California. The decent ones I feel bad for. Anyway. So all the stuff they added was redundant, as far as I'm concerned. They did all this for brownie points, and because a bunch of narcissists needed to feel represented on screen of a video game. Which, first of all, bitches, fuck your representation. I want Welsh representation. I don't see a line of people demanding. Or, I'm sorry, you don't see me harassing people saying, I want Welsh representation in the video games, damn it. I want my own spell sword Welshman. I want a Welsh gunslinger. Oh wait, we kind of got that with Arthur Morgan. Oh well. You don't see me going, I want a Welsh Viking, which we had with Escalade. Like, you don't see me doing that. You don't. I mean, granted, that would require to know the Welsh language, I would assume, and that language will give you a headache, trust me. And I like the language, but it would give me a headache. So, these fucksticks who did this, I blame what has happened in Dragon Age, and if it really is gone, then I blame this exclusively on them and that David Gator douchebag, who, much like Daniel Vavra as of the last couple of days, had been antagonizing people in the lead up to all this bullshit. So, no, fuck you, BioWare, fuck you, guy. Now, I have 2 books of his, so anyone who says I wasn't a fan before, bite me. Yeah, no, BioWare, this was entirely of your own devising and deserved. It wasn't even like this is actually worse than Andromeda in a way. Because at least with Andromeda, you can say the people who were working on the game were being fucked with by corpos. Like, they were short and they had to start over from scratch at one point. Because I actually have tried to look into certain things about that game. Like, I heard most of the people who worked on it were 20-somethings with no life experience. That may or may not be true. I do know that one of them before this, the only thing she'd only worked on 2 things, I believe, and that was... One of them was Bioshock Infinite, which I personally liked. I played it a couple years back, but... Yeah, they did all this... Now, but at least they had the excuse of they were short on time and it was hard for them to get things done. Failguard has had God knows how long to get its shit in order. And it looks like they went in with these stupid ideas in mind. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Inquisition is the last Dragon Age game. Unless they retcon Failguard or whatever, or they do it over, which I highly doubt, because probably BioWare is starting from mine, which is kind of funny. I guess pissing off people and pissing in the mouths of people who in the past were fans of yours will leave them feeling bitter towards you and leave a bad taste in their mouth that makes them feel like the Greek boy who went to visit Tom Hanks' home. Okay, anyway. But yeah. So I doubt that. But yeah, and even then, Inquisition, even back then, even when Inquisition, I can't remember if I said this in the last video I did talking about like what I thought would happen with Failguard. But Inquisition, even back then, you can already see the hints of the PC bullshit Blizzard on the horizon. The bad moon on the horizon, you could see it. And hang on. So that was in 2014, I believe, when that game came out or was being made. Because I remember that came out back when I still lived in Arkansas. It was right before I moved to Texas because the bullshit there became insufferable. But anyway, so even that game, you could see the brewing of the bullshit. The gnashing of the teeth of the cunts who honestly have more opinions than they do personality traits. And maybe that's being too generous, but yeah, you could kind of see that with, I think his name was Kevin or whatever. You could kind of see it, and that was back when I wasn't aware of Gamergate. I still noticed it. I still noticed all the bullshit, like the gay crap, like the actual gay crap, not the stupid gay crap. Like Dorian. Oh, they didn't even try to hide with Dorian. Oh no, it was in your face if you looked hard enough. Kind of like in Witcher 3 with that one guy, where it's like. Like, I remember Rage Fist was telling, I'm like, okay, first of all, Rage Fist, they made it to where you had to actually come looking for that. Jagoff. I mean, I like the guy, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, like, it was still a thing where you could maybe avoid or you could just ignore it. It wasn't insufferable. Contrast that with Failguard, where Jesus Christ on a cross, I could swear they wanted to force it on you. Kind of like drag queens force their story hour on kids in schools if they don't have a choice. Or certain trans activists in Australia. Anyway. So Inquisition, that came out back in 2014. Back when Gamergate, the part 1 was going down. Well, actually I'd have to go back and look exactly the dates. But yeah, that was like back when Gamergate was still a thing. The first one anyway. Back when game journalists still could at least subsist in the delusion more confidently that they were useful to society and not just proof that some children should have been swallowed and not conceived. or some should have been scraped. Anyway. But you said that. Years later, post all this activism crap, they are doing the exact same fucking bullshit over and over, and it's very asinine. I don't know how else to describe it.
I don't have a home. I don't have a car. I didn't eat yesterday. I had to borrow these clothes. She took it all!
So all this crap, and worse, and it's kind of egregious too, because one of the things that kind of saddens me is, after the bullshit that happened with Game of Thrones, I think we all became hip to the fact that George R. R. Martin was a piece of shit and a ball bag who wasn't worth a damn. But at least we could say that his works had an influence in video games that were good. Dragon Age is a good example. Because Ferelden is steeped in, like, some of that influence. Hell, the Oathkeeper sword is named after Jaime's sword in the books. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff. Although, I kind of wish there had been an option to be a bastard son who has more freedom and autonomy, but also, it is a crying shame, a fucking tragedy to rival Darth Plagueis, that there were no spell swords in Inquisition, and we had to wait till this wankfest to get it. Which, oh god almighty, I want to hurt someone. I want to hurt someone. I want to slap someone. The one time they give me something close to a spell sword, I mean, not the kind I like, but still, something close to it, is in this stupid bullshit abortion of a game. And the fact that, now we're getting to the main part, the fact that all this bullshit happened where they had to scrap it, like they had to cut and run, makes me somewhat happy, because basically these fuckers know all their work was pointless. People don't like it, they also know that, and the person in charge lost her job and is butthurt about that. And you can say they don't care. No, I think they do, for one simple reason. We're not talking about people who were apathetic like me, only, well, I'm not as apathetic. We're not talking about apathetic people. We're talking about a bunch of vain gaggle of narcissists who can't stand the idea of someone be like, why don't you like my work? Why won't you acknowledge my greatness? Like they're fucking...
A true victory is to make your enemies see they were wrong to oppose you in the first place. To force them to acknowledge your greatness. Then you kill them. Only if it's necessary.
It's just they act like they're fucking Gul Dukat. I'm like, no, you're not, bitch. You are not Gul fucking Dukat. Gul Dukat has charisma. You don't even have charisma. You could put all the points you had into charisma and still suck at it. You would have the charisma of you still have the charisma of a misanthrope, and your forehead is a fucking hate crime, or incentive for a hate crime. Like seriously, these idiots got what they deserve. And the fact that not long after launch they had to just jump ship, and now some of these fuckers are looking for work has me someone laughing, because I will bet you money when they have to apply, they'll be like, well, I worked on this game, and they're going to ironically say Failguard. Well, they'll say Failguard as if it's a masterpiece to rival, I don't know, this gun for hire. No, dipshit, they will look at that and hopefully think, this lady is cancer. Like, the cancer to kill the daughter I pretended to care about probably has more likability than this broad. That's how they're going to probably look, the smart ones are probably going to look at her anyway. Or I hope. Although, corpos themselves are retards, so, and it's pretty easy to bullshit them. Like, how do you think Larry Fink got as far as he did? He's a bullshit artist. And the fact that that man has the last name Fink and anyone ever took him seriously is proof positive for me that God has a weird sense of humor. And to all the atheists, kiss my ass if you're going to be antagonistic about that joke. Except for Cat, you're okay. But yeah, no, the fact that they did all this is funny to me just in the fact that it was for nothing. It was pointless. And now Dragon Age is probably being shelved. Kind of like how Mass Effect was after Andromeda. It was put on hold. And if I can borrow from another guy, fingers crossed this means the same thing with Failguard, because I'm assuming Andromeda being put on hold was French Canadian for mercilessly shit-canned. And apparently, if there was a Mass Effect game being made, it apparently was being affected by the failure of Failguard. So, I mean, I would laugh if it wasn't so pathetic. Yeah, what the hell, I'll laugh anyway. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you fucking deserve BioWare cunts. I feel no sympathy for you. I hope this follows you around like your permanent record in high school. Well, if that actually had weight. You got what you deserve. You did this to yourselves, and you antagonized, not me, because I was never going to buy this game. That's the funny part. The second I saw all the bullshit they were doing and how the game looked nothing like Dragon Age after I saw the demo, no, fuck this noise, fuck it. But you insulted not me, but people who are actually willing to give you a shot. The people who are giving you the benefit of the fucking doubt, and you treated them like crap. Like you always do. So now fuck you. You not only got what you deserve worse. Like, I'm willing to bet when some of these people die, there's going to be a line of people that want to piss on their graves. I'll be sure to cheer them on as they do it. Anyway. So yeah, no, I do not like these people. They are horrible people. They got what they deserved, and I've said that ad nauseum, I'm aware. And the fact that all this bullshit happened, and it's pretty obvious they've learned nothing. That kind of tends to be a trend with narcissists and sociopaths. They learn no lesson other than, I'm sorry I got caught. They're basically that Mel Gibson joke from Family Guy back when Family Guy was still funny, and Seth MacFarlane could at least cater to the delusion that he wasn't a douchebag and an idiot who tricks people. I'm sorry about your dirty, underhanded, backstabbing ways. Your number one Jew fan, Mel Gibson. That's what these people are like, in my eyes. Difference is, I can at least like Mel Gibson, because he at least had the excuse of he was either drunk, high, or both when he said his stupid things. These people were quite sober. And considering how a lot of the fantards who supported Failguard acted like sociopaths themselves and basically only responded to the leaks by saying the person who leaked the information should be punished harshly beyond recommendation and beyond reason. No, fuck you guys too, you online psychos. And that's kind of my opinion on just Failguard in general. And I think I did a video on this beforehand. I can't remember, because it's not hard for me to keep up anymore with all the shit I've done. The days escape from me like a wild deer in the wild, I guess. You know, the thing. And, that's my sentiment on just the idea of Failguard failing. But then again, this is an industry where you can fail upwards, no problem. How do you think Kathleen fucking Kennedy still gets employment? That or Jar Jar Abrams, because Jesus Christ, that man's a hack. Anyway, have a nice day, and Yema Ohid and all that bullshit.
I welcome that.